Hello and happy Valentine's Day. I've got a little extra video for you today because it's Valentine's Day. I saw Alyssa Burke making a beautiful spread, and she had this little heart envelope flappy thing that folded over and a little pocket on her page, and I thought I will try and recreate that and put my own little spin on it. Of course, naturally, it is not going to look anything like hers. I could only dream of reaching her level of brilliance. But this is my own little version, and I used all Art by Marlene products. So I took out my little rainbow journal, which I haven't worked on in a while, and I pulled out a couple of pieces from the Marlene's new release Paper Elements pad because I wanted to incorporate some of those. So I just chose little things that remind me of Valentine's Day. So I took out some cherries and ladybugs. I think I took out a strawberry. Now, not all of these will make it onto my page, but they are there anyway. So first step is I took out a pink and red sheet, or I actually think it's like a light pink and a dark pink, and then a white sheet as well from the collage paper. And I've just torn 2 strips of them and plonked them down onto my page with gel medium. So that's just to create a little bit of interest and texture in that background. Now I'm going in with the red paint from Marlene, which is Ho Ho Ho. I put ballet down, and that lighter pink I think is called blushing, but don't take my word on it. And I just smushed that paint down here and there and everywhere, and I also add a little bit of white to make the blending easier. Now, I didn't want a full coverage. I wanted my paper to look quite blended and brush strokey. So that was just the first layer. Then I went back into Marlene's paper pads and I found this collage sheet, and it had reddish colors, but it also had that purple in, which I really like with the red and pink theme. So I chose to use that one. I think purple is also a color of love. It's not just red, so that's why I chose the purple. Okay, I tore the middle strip of that paper just to make it look not so even. Alyssa did the same thing, and she called it a little bit of broken heart, which is sad but cute, I guess. And now I've just painted in a red heart, and I've gone around it with my paint pens, just making a little scallopy bit. And I'm coloring all those scallopy bits in with white because I just wanted them to pop out a little bit from the background, because that background was quite busy. I have these, I think maybe it's an envelope to save money, which of course is impossible while there's so many beautiful art supplies out there to buy. So my envelopes will never be used to save money. I cut it in kind of halfway, not all the way, completely halfway, but I cut that first part, just the top off. I wanted to use just that little bit on my page. But first I will add some red hearts using Marlene's playing card stencil. And I had the idea that I would use one of the playing cards inside that envelope. But first, I'm going to put the cherries down. And then I'm just gluing everything down with my normal wet glue. And the very first card that I took out was the pink one with red hearts, so that was perfect. And I wanted to use that little heart flower on there. And just to keep with the theme of the purple, I've taken out royal, lavender and white, and I'm just going to smush that paint all over the background. So again, really brush strokey. I'm trying not to blend the colors too much, and there was a lot of paint on there, so I'm just using the excess of that, and I'm making some purple marks on my page. It just pulls that theme through all the way through. All of the elements on the on my page will have the red and pink and the purple on there. And I'm also sticking to my playing card theme. First, I'm going to do a little bit of reductive stenciling. So I've got my lavender paint out, smushing it down with my finger, and then putting the stencil down, and then I'm wiping that paint away with a baby wipe. And that just adds a little bit of interest on my page. And then I'm going to go in with my other playing card stencil. And I had some red paint left over on my sponge. So all I did was I added a little bit of white onto my palette and just sponged through. And it made this beautiful kind of ombre effect, which I really liked. And I surprised myself because I really like that red color on the purple. I did not think that I would like it, but I enjoyed it. I went in with the gibberish stamp, background stamp, and I just put some black archival ink on there and stamped it out a couple of times. And I'm going to put my heart flower down, and I'm just going to outline everything in white to make it pop out from the background. In the end, I did lose that bottom leaf that I was so careful to put on. Anyway, it's gone now. Giving everything a quick dry, and then I think I set it aside, yes, and then I'm going to go in with my compass and pencil and attempt to make circles, but this compass is a really bad quality one, so I had quite the struggle with it. I got there in the end some way or another, and I'm just going to so I just drew a couple of different sized circles around each other, and each of those circles will be a guide for me for where I will put my patterns. So I started out in the center with a little bit of a rose looking shape because it's Valentine's Day, so we needed rose there. And then after I've put that down, I'm thinking about a contrasting shape, and that was the triangles. In between the triangles, again, a contrasting shape, which were a little bit more scallopy, and around the edge, I did scallops. And the contrasting shape inside those scallops are also those triangle-y bits. And I'm finishing off with a little bit of a lacy, frilly kind of looking scallop around the edge, and then I'm just filling in some of that space with my white paint pen. So a really simple mandala there, and yeah, I'm not looking for perfection when I make my mandalas. They are supposed to be sketchy and imperfect. That's the way I like them. And once I'm happy with my mandala, I went into Marlene's smaller background stamps, texture stamps, and I found the scripty one, and I did that in black. And then this little red heart is getting a little bit of red paint, and I'm just stamping that all over. So you can use acrylic paints on your stamps, but you have to make sure you clean it very well afterwards. So either go rinse it under a tap or wipe it down with your wet wipe, and make sure you just get into all of the little grooves there to make sure that it's nice and clean. Obviously, if that paint dries on your stamp, it's going to alter the shape of your stamp. Going in with more background stamps, little hearts, and then this one that says love, and I'm just stamping it off a couple of times on my page. And I'm going to glue down my little envelopes. I was faffing around a bit with that envelope. Excuse me. In the end, I chose to cut the flappy bit off, and then I glued it down, and then the little heart flap as well, gluing that down. Alyssa had a little tie on her heart, so I wanted to do that as well. And coincidentally, she also used a black and white, a red and white twine, and I received this red and white twine over the weekend, so I was happy to be able to use it. I'm looking about a bit to see if there's anything else I can put inside that flap, but in the end I decided no, I'm happy with it the way it is. And then I'm going to go in and find some quotes. So this is from Marlene's previous release. It's just a stamp set with a bunch of phrases, and I chose the phrase love more, fear less. And I'm just stamping it out on my white card there, and then I'm going to fussy cut around it. And the other one that I had there, I actually don't know. I can't remember what it says. Sorry, I can't remember. But I cut two. That one's going to go onto the little playing card in my pocket. I think it maybe says forever and always, something like that. And I'm just gluing all of those little bits down before they go missing. I felt like I needed a little bit more white on my page, so I'm just watering down some of Marlene's lace paint and doing some splatters. Because I had the white now, the quote in white, I felt like they were looking a bit odd because there was nothing else on the page to tie that white together. And while I was busy with white, I decided to add a little bit more white stenciling. I tried with the lace paint, but it wasn't quite opaque enough for me, so I've gone in with my Amsterdam acrylic, which is a really white. It's called titanium white, and it's a really nice and opaque paint, and I'm just going here and there, and that little bit of white just ties all those quotes in for me. Found a tiny sticker in Marlene's sticker book. It says love. And then I did find another one as well that was bigger, and I think it said something like always keep love in your heart. Something along those lines. Keep love close to your heart. That's it. I'm outlining that with, I think I chose a white paint pen for that, because again, I just wanted to keep tying that white back into my page. I did do a little white outline around the outside of my playing card, and I'm making little stitch marks around it. I also did the stitch marks on the heart as well, and outlining the white, using the white to outline the words. That's it. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether you celebrate it or not. I do hope that it's a good one and your heart is filled with love, and I hope you get to create some art. Thank you so much for being here, and I will chat to you again soon. Bye.